in. So after being rejected from the 165 level yesterday, FANTOM is consolidating again and getting ready for its next big move. We're up almost 3% today, despite Bitcoin being up just 1.3% on a Sunday. Normally you expect low volumes, but this is showing good strength now from FANTOM. And in this video, we're going to look at all the different timeframes because I've seen a whole bunch of interesting patterns on each of the different timeframes. So we're going to work through that. We're going to show you the next critical levels for FANTOM and where I think it could be going from here. I'm going to be letting you know what I'm doing with my position. So make sure you stay tuned till the very end. Hit up the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. These videos are brought to you by me. Yep, our very own course member live stream. You guys have been asking for them, and now we are set up, guys. We've already started enrolling people onto our course member live streams. You can join by heading into ijaz.uk/member. The link's in the description. It's the first link in the description box below. Head into there and get yourself signed up. You'll then get access to our members only area where we have live streams, discussions around things which you can ask me about, critiquing your portfolio, looking at certain coins, asking me about the macroeconomics or what I'm doing, what my psychology in the market is right now. Am I buying? Am I selling? Am I nervous? Am I feeling confident about the market? You get all of that within the members only section. So go check that out. But for today, we need to look at the FANTOM chart, because here on the FANTOM chart, let's start off with the hourly, in fact. And what we'll do is we'll go upwards through the different time frames. But as you know, in the hourly, we're in this massive what I would call a bearish continuation pattern. But I'm going to explain why I think this is starting to get nullified, and I'm getting less and less worried about the risk to the downside, like as in the large risk to the downsides. I'm going to clarify that as we go through this video. But what we're seeing here is we had our fake out initially below our flag, and then we managed to enter it back inside, and we had a big push all the way up to 168. But as I mentioned in my previous video yesterday, the 165 level is a key level of resistance and support if we can turn it into support. And just as that, we got rejected all the way down to as low as 151 from 168. So that was a big red candle yesterday, and it made sense. It makes sense after a big run like this to consolidate down. And even if you look to the Fibonacci, that's a normal retracement. But we've created a higher low, and there's no issues here now. We then managed to bounce up intraday here to 161 before then getting sent back down to the bottom of our wedge. So what we want to see now is support to come in. We don't want to fall back low to these levels again, 153. We need to hold where we're at now around 157, 156, and start working our way towards 165. If we start coming down towards this way and start creating a lower low, then we have to start thinking about if we need to come to 147, because then the strength's not there in the market. If we're going to head to the upside, we want to see this, and then we want to see this to the upside here, okay? So if we see this and we start falling lower, then we could start heading towards 147 here on the hourly. Now, you can see the RSI gives us plenty of room. We've got plenty of room to go for a move to the upside. We're right in the middle here, and that means we're not exhausted. We've had our cooling off after this initial move to the upside. You can see right here, when we had our big move to 168, look at the RSI. Okay, look at the RSI here. This was expecting a cool down. So it's very natural that we're going to come down after hitting the 165 level. We've reset our RSIs. Now we can start moving to the upside. So it looks nice, and it's a nice setup here on the hourly. And definitely FANTOM has caught up after initially a little bit lagging behind Bitcoin. But that big move to 168 when Bitcoin was having a red day really did help it catch up after some of the downside FANTOM has been seeing in recent days. So let's head on over to the 4-hourly chart. And what we'll see on the 4-hourly chart is this bear flag start to become a bit more evident, right? And you'll remember this is the example we used where we had that big bear flag to the downside. We broke to the downside and we headed all the way down. But look at the difference. Look how steep this move was, and then a big sharp decline to the downside. And we weren't in here for long. We weren't in here for many days. It was like 6-7 days we were in this channel. We've been in this channel for far longer. We've been in this channel since the 13th of March, and we're now on the 3rd of April. So this is far more sustained and less likely to head to the downside the longer we stay in this channel. So this is a nice upward channel now. Don't forget, we've got the big break of trend on this red downward trend. This is now a nice confirmed breakout. But the issue is whether we're going to come and need a retest at 135 or lower before we head higher. Now, hopefully we can maintain, like I said, on the hourlies, our higher highs, and we can start working our way upwards. The key level is going to be the 165 level. The quicker we can get above 165, retest and hold that level, the more bullish this is going to set up for Phantom, and then we can start worrying about the level at 208. That's the next major level here, sitting at that peak there at 208. It doesn't mean we're going to get straight there. We still have resistance at 194, $2, which is a psychological level, but if we're going to head in that direction, we need to push through those and get to 208 after these levels, okay? So we've got a lot of work to do here on Phantom. We need to work our way through these levels progressively, and we'll hit each one as and when we get to them. So that's what we're seeing on the 4-hourly. And if we bring out our EMA ribbon, what you'll notice is the EMA ribbon looks pretty good, right? If you see what we've got here, let's get zoomed in. You'll see we've managed to stay above our 4-hour EMA. Bring this across. We've managed to stay above our 4-hour EMA ribbon for quite a long time. I mean, if you date back to when we managed to flip it, all the way since 16th of March. This is really nice. We've been really respecting our EMA ribbon. We had a big move to the upside, came down, and look at that. Where we came down, which is where we got rejection from 165, to where we bounced, is perfectly off the EMA ribbon. You can't write this stuff. It's perfectly a bounce off the EMA ribbon, and we start working our way. Will it come down to collect some more support off the EMA ribbon before heading higher? That's what we have to see. Or has it now got enough energy to start working its way straight through 165? That's going to be the key question now for the next 24 to 36 hours. But this is looking good. RSI has got some room to move to the upside. Initially, you can see how exhausted it was here in this period. That is expected. But now it's got some cooling off. It can get ready for its next move upside here on the 4-hourly. Now let's take a look at the daily, and what we're seeing on the daily is a bit of a different. So what we're seeing on the daily here is, can we now get that bounce off the EMA ribbon? We had a red day yesterday after the huge move the day before, and now we're testing our EMA ribbon. So the question will be, can we now get that clean bounce, and can we start building above our EMA ribbon? If you've not watched my video from earlier where I talk about the Bitcoin chart, look at the difference in this chart. Right? The Bitcoin chart has a gap between its EMA ribbon. Look at this space in between the EMA ribbon. Look at the Phantom chart. It doesn't have that. And therefore, it doesn't have the room to retrace. So what I want to see is a nice move for Phantom over the next couple of days, which will give it room above its EMA ribbon, so that if we need to retrace down to our EMA ribbon, we've got some room to do that. It's this kind of pattern that we want to see. Okay, so we really need to see this start to extend now on the Phantom chart on the daily. And the key level, like I said, is going to be that 165 level here, and where we got rejected at the 168. Don't forget, that's also where this 200-day teal color moving average sits. So this is all confluence, right? When all these patterns are showing us the same thing, that once between 165 and 168 is a key level for us to fight through. In fact, let's also bring out the VPAVR, because I bet you that's going to show some signs as well. And you can see the same. This is a key level of resistance. You can see the volume comes in at this level, and then things get a little bit easier thereafter. So we've got to break through this level. There's a lot of sell action happening at 165, and Phantom needs to work its way through that in order to head higher. Now, to wrap this up in terms of the different chart patterns, let's also take a look at the weekly. And the weekly is where I'm most worried, and I'm going to explain to you why. But before I do that, let's look at the fear and greed index, and you can see the fear and greed index is sitting at 48. Okay, so the market is feeling confident, quietly confident, but it's not super crazy. There's no FOMO. We're not in greed yet. We've not even started heading into the greed yet. It's just feeling comfortable because Bitcoin's above 40. It's going to feel comfortable. If Bitcoin breaks down into its wedge, back below 44.5 into the wedge which we were looking at, naturally this is going to start falling and the markets will become fearful. Now, if you've not watched my video yesterday, I explained exactly whether we're heading into an alt season and what I'm seeing, because one of the things we were looking at is the Bitcoin dominance. And it's very clear, even here on the weekly candle, and in fact, very much clearer on the daily candles, that Bitcoin dominance is really starting to take a hit. And that means money is flowing from Bitcoin into altcoins. And this is really important to identify. If you're new to crypto trading or it's your first kind of cycle, we explain this full cycle and how it works in my altcoin season video. So go check that out. I also explain whether I think an altcoin season has begun and what that can mean for some of our favorite coins. Now, coming back to Phantom and the weekly chart. Now let's get a nice tidy chart here. Now we're coming up to a critical level here. And the reason for this is I've just shown you that the hourly, the 4-hourly, the daily, you can see positive signs in those charts, right? Things are looking good. We can start heading towards 165. But what I'm seeing here on the weekly is the bit that's getting me slightly concerned. Now you can see we had this big move to the downside. And since then, we started seeing us move to the upside, okay? Now this was our upward move. We've had 3 solid weeks here as obviously Bitcoin has started to pick up some momentum. But look at this weekly candle here. I just want to look at the weekly candle we're in. And we've got 9 hours before this weekly candle closes. What is the issue here? Well, the issue here is we're getting rejected powerfully. Look at the wick on this candle. In other words, Phantom opened the week at $1.43. Okay, it would open up at $1.43, and it ran to as high as 168. We're now sitting at 156. We saw that in the hourly charts, but that rejection means that we're getting rejected by EMA ribbon. We've not managed to get above it. If we can close at 172, 171, 173, just above our EMA ribbon, let's just get zoomed in here and see where that would be. Just here, like if we can close just above this last EMA from our ribbon, we would then be able to flip bullish on our weekly candle. And that is something we haven't done. I mean, the last time we flipped bullish and had a big move was in December 2021, and we've since then run up all the way to our highs, right? Can we get that close here? The worrying sign is you can see the sell pressure coming in. You saw that immediately. As soon as we hit 168, sell. It triggered us down. Okay, so we need to collect some support. We need to reset our RSIs, like I showed you on the daily and the 4-hourly charts, and Phantom needs to go again. It's got 9 hours left of this weekly candle. I don't know if it's going to achieve it within this candle, but definitely on the next weekly candle, we need to come out of the blocks fast and hard, and we need to get above this EMA ribbon here at 172, 173. If we can do it over the next 9 hours, or maybe even by the time I post this video, that would be amazing. But what we don't want to see, and the bit I'm worried for longer term, is if there's a lot of sell pressure here, this is going to send us back to the downside. And if it sends us back to the downside and we create a lower low below 103, then you start having a downtrend on the weekly. That is not great at all, okay? Because then you've got this massive M pattern, which we do not want to play out to the downside, okay? Now, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that is the scenario that's here to occur. The market's feeling bullish. Bitcoin's feeling good. The market is feeling confident. It's got room until the next interest rate hike in May. And the market's feeling good. So I don't expect the negative scenarios to play out. But it's my duty to bring these to you. I'm not here to pump these coins, or none of them pay me to tell you that this is going to the moon, nor is that in my interest, right? There's no 100x leverage link in the description. Just a link to my course member live, ijaz.uk/member. But no one's paying me to say that, right? So if I see something negative in the charts, I'm here to tell you. I don't care. And I'll point that out to you because it's my duty to do that. If I see a bearish pattern, I'm going to show you. If I see a bullish pattern, I'm going to show you. The long and short of it is I'm holding Phantom for the long term. If this starts to trade to the downside, I'll continue to hold. I'm not bothered. Okay. And I'll buy on the pullbacks. Now, if we start creating longer term downward trends down here, then we'll have to start considering what we're doing here on Phantom, and I'll walk you guys through that. But for now, I want to maintain the bullish stance because the bullish stance is not far off. We just need to push past 165, 168, start heading towards that level. We can start working our way back towards 208 and then 245, and things will start to look really good on Phantom. The key thing we've seen over the last few days is when Phantom gets moving, it moves quick. And if you guys have been sleeping on it for the last couple of weeks, or you guys were selling into the red and you were panic selling because you're inexperienced, you've just seen now how quickly Phantom can move 60% in a couple of days. And that is why if you had the conviction to buy at 103, 104, and definitely not panic sell, you would have saved yourself a whole lot of hurt. So if you like my perspectives and you want more training around some of that psychology and how to become a bit more mature around your trading and a bit more, patient and calculated and rational, consider checking out the course member live streams, ijaz.uk/member, links in description. As always, guys, there is your blend of technicals and fundamentals here on Phantom. We've analyzed every single time pattern there, and the charts are looking pretty good. If you appreciate this, smash up the likes and subscribe. What I'm going to do now is link up the video to the Phantom tokenomics video. If you still haven't watched that video, guys, please do go watch that video, as it's a really important video for you to understand. I also mentioned one of the concerns I have around the Phantom tokenomics. I'm also going to link up the video to the altcoin season video. So if you've seen the tokenomics one, go watch the altcoin season video from yesterday, because that really does explain where my mind is at in terms of whether we're entering altcoin season. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.